So I think we can start. If already who is here, I welcome you everyone to Inspiration Day. And it's great pleasure to see all of you. And we hope we had a pleasant morning already, or someone has a lovely day already in the other side of the world. So thank you for listening and thank you for taking this time. This live event questions can be right in the comments, and we're doing our best that we follow those. So thank you again, everyone, for extremely grateful for your time. So we can go to the agenda. And this agenda is like this. Not be afraid that it's long. Some topics are only for just information, few words for updates. So as the topic of growth and LCA development and survival covers a lot of areas, that's why we put it in also other topics. So we can start. And the first topic, and Femke, we can start with you.
It always helps if I put in my sound, right? So I think the next slide is welcome and introductions. So I think that was that's what you just did. So then we can move on to the importance of growth, because we're going to talk today about growth, right? Because growth is very important. But why is it important, and why is it important to Ladies Circle? There's a few things why growth is important, and I guess there will be many more, but I just want to talk about a few of these topics with you all today. So the first thing why it is important, and that is continuity. It may speak for itself, but it is not always logical to everybody to think about this topic, because continuity means that we are in the structure that we have in Ladies Circle is that unfortunately when you reach a certain age, you are still super young, but you do have to leave Ladies Circle when you are 45. And if you don't think about this, when you think about growth of your circle, then it can happen that at some point your members are going because of age, and then your circle dies out. You have too little members to keep it up. To make sure you don't reach that point where you have too little members to continue, it is important to think about this way ahead. So even when you have a young circle, it is important to keep the members coming, to make sure that at the point when people start reaching 45 and people have to leave, that you continue your circle with the members that you gain throughout the years. Experience is in this sense also very important, because when people leave circle, they take away the experience. For instance, if you have a club of 10 members and 6 of them will be going due to age within a span of 2 years, let's say, and if you only start getting new members in those last 2 years, because then you need to add the members to keep the numbers up, then these new members, they don't have the experience, and all the experience goes away at once. So you have to make sure that you have enough experience in your circle to continue, because otherwise every time you have to start over again and you have to learn things again. And it's not just about traditions, but also about how does circular world work, or what does it mean to go to a national or international AGM. This type of experience you need to learn from each other, and you need to give that experience to your new members, and not just in 1 year, but over time, so that people have the chance to learn and to make that information their own. Then you have the topic of balance in age. Let's stick to that circle of 10 members where 6 people are leaving circle in 2 years' time. If you don't get new members way before, then when you have 6 members who are in that age group of 43, 44, then it is super difficult to find members who are in a younger age group. The simple reason is that your life is in a different phase and you meet other people. The people in my everyday life have a certain age group and they grow with me. So I'm not in that age group anymore of the people who are 25. And I don't really meet them if I don't look for them. But if you have younger people in your circle, they still do meet them. So it is important that you keep the balance in age to make sure that you have the availability of the younger people to join your group. And if you grow older together without getting new young people, it is very difficult to get those young people. Plus, for them, it is also, you talk about different things. Somebody who is 44 talks about something completely different than somebody who's 20. And if you want to make sure that your circle is attractive for all these members, then you need to make sure that you have people from all of these ages in your group. So the balance in age is important to keep on growing. And then a topic that is maybe a bit weird, and that is finances, because I don't think it is very often associated with growth of your circle. But finances are actually very important in this. And the reason for that is you have to make sure that it costs money to be part of a club. It doesn't matter if you play sports or well, whatever hobby you have, hobby costs money. So does Lady Circle. And very often you have a fixed amount that you always have to pay. So think about the captation fee you have to pay to your country or to LCI, or things that, if, for instance, Lady Circle the Netherlands makes a magazine, and the magazine has an amount that needs to be paid for. If you have to divide the money that you have to pay as a circle to, for instance, Lady Circle the Netherlands, in my case, the more people you have, the cheaper it gets to pay that money. So it is good if you think about that, because if you grow very little, you still have to pay the same amount. Some things are paid per person. For instance, captation fee in many countries is paid per person, but sometimes you have to pay as a club. And there's also other things that you have to do. For instance, we have an insurance. If you pay that fee that you have to pay for the insurance, if you have to divide it by 10, it is completely different than when you have to divide it by 4. So to keep your members up is also important to make it financially doable. So that is why finances are also very important in growth. And visibility. If you want to show the world what you're doing, and if you want to raise money for charity, or if you want to promote something or want to create awareness of something, if you do that with 4 people in your club, you will reach less people than when you are with 10 people. Because with 10 people, you have 10 times more the amount of views that you can reach. So to be visible, or to be able to show the world what you're doing, and if you want to raise money for charity, you will reach more people when you're with more people. Yeah, you'll reach more people if you are with more people. So also for your visibility, it is good to make sure that your circle keeps on growing. And keeps on growing doesn't mean you always need more members, as in when your club is with 10 and you think 10 is a good number, that is fine. But remember, people are going out, so you need to make sure new people are getting in. So always think about the average that you want to have in your club. How many members do you want? And then base your growth plan on that. So that is why it's important to grow. And for the rest of growth, I'll come back later, but now I want to hand over to Lisha to talk about ways of growing.
Hi, thank you, Femke. Last year, in the past years, actually, you did take time to teach us about the importance of growth, and it's so important to catch up. After we've understood the importance of growth, how do we now grow our association? Next slide. So during the midterm meetings, Madam IPP and myself did take time to spread the word on how we plan to grow our association. Obviously, we've spoken about charters as well. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Life has got a lot of things to go wrong. Yes, so charters are really important in each country, and if we're starting a new country. So how do we ensure that these charters are done correctly and they help with the growth of the association? We ensure that in chartering a new circle, we assign a godparent, or a godparent country, or a godparent circle. These godparents offer guidance to a godchild, and therefore we grow effectively and knowing that the godchild is well informed. But remember, even after you charter a circle or a country, don't let go. They will need your guidance literally forever. That means time to time, as godparent or godchild, you check in with your godparent or godchild. Therefore, us as LCI, we celebrate charters across the world, and we're so excited that we've been hearing so much growth across the world. Please keep going. And if you know any other country that needs us, do let us know. The next one that we spoke about during the NTM was on Global Operation Headhunter. So basically, we are asking you to literally go there and with being intentional on growing the circle within your circle and growing your country within your country and extending. So Operation Headhunter, obviously, you would wonder, how do we go about it? For example, myself, I actually find myself doing it quite often. If I go to a side-by-side event and I see a tabler with a beautiful young wife, I just approach them and I'll be like, hello, my name is Lisha. And do you know anything about circle? Since it's the same thing about roundtable. So that is me basically headhunting directly. Make time. And that's what circle is all about. That's the beauty of Lady Circle. You learn to speak to strangers with so much pride. And guess what? You have a topic to discuss. You don't have to have awkward silences. So best of luck to all of us. And if you have any questions, please keep putting them in the chat. We've also embarked on celebrating your growth. So we note that sometimes you have charters and you haven't let the LCI board know, which is really sad because we are so excited when we hear growth and we keep celebrating that growth. We do our best to communicate to the incoming new charter circles, be it on your national level or starting a new country. So when you're chartering a new circle, please make sure you communicate via your regional chairperson or your president and vice president to let the LCI board know so that they can send that celebratory message to them. And then on country level as well, please, when you charter new charter new clubs, when you induct new members, take time to celebrate them on social media, on your WhatsApp groups, on your Instagram. Celebrate them, welcome them to the big family of Lady Circle International. I'll move on to the next one. As we spoke about, each one bring one. This is something that really is quite easy to do, but again, very hard to do. When you're inviting somebody to join Lady Circle, obviously you feel like you have the responsibility of ensuring that you're bringing in a quality member. So just remember that as you embark on the journey of each one to bring in one, you don't have to do it on your own. If you feel that you need help, do reach out to the person who has more information, more experience on Lady Circle, and encourage them to bring one. So imagine if in a circle, you have 5 of you, and each one of you brings one. Can be a sister, can be a cousin, can be a friend, can be a workmate, could be somebody you met on a line while waiting to get your coffee, could be somebody you met at a parent-teachers club. When you bring them in and you need help, please reach out. But we do believe that each circler is capable of at least meeting one person who they can bring in. And remember that not everyone you will approach might like Lady Circle, and that's also okay. But guess what? You've planted a seed. You've planted a seed of knowledge, and therefore they will know about Lady Circle forever, even if they choose not to join. So on the each one bring one, I wish you also lots of luck, but use it as a way of starting a conversation from anywhere at any time. The next one is younger than the youngest. So we really joked about this one with Martina in Carcassonne. So as you know, and as Femke has mentioned, it's really important for us to have all age groups in our association.
Unmute, Lisha.
As a result, oh, sorry, children. So as a result, we encourage that each circler brings in the youngest. So I'll give an example. If you go to Circular World, you will have an idea of the average group in your circle or in your country. Do try your best to reduce that average age. As Femke has mentioned, it is really important in the dynamics of growth that we have all age groups. This is because, for example, if you have an 18-year-old and you have a 44-year-old, obviously myself in my age group, I'll be able to conversate just fine between myself and the 44-year-olds and have something in common. And we will definitely have a lot of information to share with the 18-year-old or the 20-year-old or the 30-year-olds. So what that happens then, they will share the information by the time they are 40. So it is really important for the purposes of growth that we get the younger ones to join more, because as Femke has said, imagine all of us exiting almost at the same time. It will bring the association to its knees. So again, circlers, go back, ask yourselves, who's the youngest? Can we get somebody younger? If not, just get the total average, divide by the number of the circlers you have in, and now realize as long as that age is above 35, you have work to do to reduce that number at least to 30. It will really, really help if an average age number in each circle is 30. The last one, which I think is also very, very possible, each circle to grow by one, just by one. If you're lady circle number 1, just bring in 1. If you're lady circle number 2, just bring in 1 new member. We believe that with 1 new member each, it will also help our association grow. In any other countries, obviously there are countries that are easily able to grow and there are countries that have challenges to grow. But if we can't at least each bring in 1, we can at least each circle brings in 1. Thank you. I will hand back to Femke.
Thank you so much, Lisha. And I think all of these ways that you have shown are very practical for circles to help them to grow. And to do that, you also need your target group. On the next slide, we can see that it's important to, Lisha already spoke about it a little bit, but it is important to make a plan on when you know how you can find your new circlers, you also need to think about who you want as a circler. Like Lisha said, it is good to think about age, but what does your ideal new member look like? For instance, what kind of network do you want her to have? Do you want somebody out of your own network, or is it maybe a good idea to look into another network so that you have extra potential new members, but also an extra network to get your projects done, to raise more awareness, to get more money for fundraising. So network is also important. You can always stay within your own network, but that makes it more difficult in the end to find more members. Also the area. I know that a lot of circles have a specific area that they where they focus on, because it can either be your town or it can be a region. It's different for every country how they do that, but it is important to think about the area. If I look at my own circle, for example, I live in a town, and I know it's a weird name in English, but it's called Bergen op Zoom. My circle is based in Bergen op Zoom. But if somebody is not from Bergen op Zoom, but is willing to travel to Bergen op Zoom for our meetings, then to us, that is a potential member, because she's welcome in a group. We are based in Bergen op Zoom, but that doesn't mean you have to live there. If you are willing to travel to us, then be welcome. I think it is good to review all your rules that you have on where a member comes from and what she is and what she does and things like that, to see if it gives you enough space to actually grow your circle. Another thing that can be important, at least I know that in my circle, but in a lot of circles that I know, it's a topic as well. if you want to have a circle that is very diverse, it is also good to have a look at what kind of professions do you want in your circle. So at one point in my circle, we had a lot of people who work in healthcare. Very interesting. But it is also interesting to have somebody who does PR, for instance, or HR, or in the technical industry or whatever. If you know who you want or what your circle is missing to grow further in the future, then that is what you need to look for. Who do you want in your circle? What is your ideal circler? And it doesn't mean that somebody who is not in a new network or who is your neighbor can't join. Of course, they can join as well, but try to see what your ideal member looks like and then try to find them. And like the slide also says, where to find them and how to find them, I think it gives you a better understanding on the answers to these questions if you know who you are looking for. If you know who you are looking for, then you can find them. For instance, if you're looking for younger circlers, then think about where you can find these younger circlers. Where are they? Are they on the play yard of the children in the school? Then go there. Go and find them there. If you want, for instance, somebody in a specific profession, then try to see if you have any connections in that line of work. And maybe there's a special event that is focused on people, on business people, for instance. Then maybe you should go to that event to see if you can meet people there and talk to them and talk about Lady Circle. I think it is very right what Lisha said. We need to talk about it. As long as we don't talk about it, other people won't know about it. It is not just a thing of waiting for them to come. No, we need to go and actively find them out there. And we can do that by knowing who we are looking for. Let's go to the next topic. And that is social media, because that is linked a lot to target group. Can we go to the next slide, Mask? Thank you. For social media, it is important to make a plan, because when you know what type of circler you're looking for, you know what your target group is, then I think it is also good to make a plan. A lot of our potential circlers will know about us, I would say, through social media. It is not the only place, because it is, like I said, you can go to an event where you meet people, or you can meet somebody on the playground, or you can meet somebody in the supermarket or wherever. But it is good to have a plan on social media, because one of the things that people will most likely do when you talk about Lady Circle, they will look you up and they want to have an idea of who you are and what you are doing. So therefore, it is good to, when you are working on your growing strategy, to also think about your social media strategy. Because what do you want to show the world? What do you want potential members to see on your social media? Do you just want to show them that you're a fun club who drinks a nice glass of bubbles every evening? Or do you want to show them that you're having fun, but you're also doing service projects? Or do you just want to show them that you're doing service projects? Do you just want to show them that you are looking for new members? What is it that you want to show? Because if you don't think about that, and if you just post randomly on your social media, and that is the place where people will look you up, then that is what the story that you're telling them. Especially when you're focusing on growth, it is super important to look at this and to make sure that your social media is ready for these new members to get excited about Lady Circle. And all of the topics that I said before, like, do you want to show them that you're drinking bubbles, or do you want to show them that you're raising money? Or all of them are none of them are bad or good. It's not about that. It is just, what do you as a club want to show? And what is the core of your circle? Are you focused on friendship? Are you focused on service? Are you doing both? Are you focused on traveling? Whatever, it doesn't matter, as long as your social media represents what your circle wants to communicate. Next slide, please. Because then you want them to actually join Lady Circle. You've talked about Lady Circle, you've shown them what your club is like, and then you want them to join. And how does that work? What is important when they are joining the circle? Can we have the next slide, please? The first question is, why would people want to join Ladies Circle in general? So it is important that you give them the right information. They need to know the right information about Ladies Circle, about your circle and Ladies Circle in general. Because if you're joining a circle, then we stand for something. We have ideas, we have purposes, we have, like I said, your club has an identity. If you are more friendship focused, then that is what somebody should know about your circle. And if that is not what she wants, then she should maybe not join your circle. So why would she join? What is her intention to join your circle? And does that match? And what do you do when a potential new circle comes to visit your club? Because there's always that first moment that you join a club. And remember, somebody who's new is probably going to be a bit nervous, excited. They don't know what they're getting into. And we don't always realize that it is a big thing for a lot of people when they join an existing group, because you are a group of friends and somebody else is coming. They don't know what to expect. They have no idea what's going on because maybe they have seen you in service projects, but they have never been in a meeting or something. So be aware of the fact that it is a thing for people to come to your club and support them and guide them. And we have all these things that are super normal to us and natural to us, like our abbreviations. I'm always shocked by how many abbreviations we use in Ladies Circle. If we're talking about an AGM, or we're talking about an ISP, or we're talking about, we have all these abbreviations and we know what we're talking about. But when somebody new comes in, they can feel a little bit, how would I say that? Insecure about that, because we're talking sentences that sometimes sound very weird. Help them with that. Help them to understand what we are doing in Ladies Circle, because only then she will get more enthusiastic and she can feel part of the group. Along with that comes expectations. What do you expect from a new member, but also what does she expect? And do these expectations meet up? It is good to think about that, because if you accept everybody in your club without thinking about the expectations, then sometimes the expectations are not matching, and then people leave because the expectations don't match. And then you are putting time and effort in a potential new member. Both of you, like the new member is giving her time to you as a club, but your club is also giving attention and time to the potential new lady. But when expectations don't match, then it's not going to work, and she will most likely leave and not become an actual member. So I think it is always good to talk about expectations before somebody joins a meeting, so that both of you know what you can expect. That is what you do when you talk about expectations. Yeah, so it is very important so that you make sure that the chances of success are as high as possible. Can we have the next slide, please? In joining for a new member, it is good to have a new member policy. What is your policy? Like I said, who are you? What is your ideal new member? And it's good to put that in your policy, so that at least all of you know what you're looking for. But also, how many meetings can a new member just watch and not be a member, but just be there to see if it is something for her? How many times can she join before she actually has to decide if she wants to be a new member? What financial implications are there for a new member? It is good to put all these things on paper to meet up with these expectations. Yeah, show interest. I think that is a given. It is important that you have to show interest in a potential new member for her to feel welcome. Like I said, talk about things as abbreviations and things like that, but also ask her what her intentions are to join your circle, because only when you get to know each other, you can form a group. Easy to find. Make sure that it is easy for her to find you as a club, but also the other way around. Find each other, be together, make time for each other. I think especially in the beginning, It is very important. I've talked about information on your circle, make that available. It always helps if you send information about your circle to a potential new member, because then she can read up, she can already get to know you on paper and then see in a meeting what it is like. And then help her to join. So take her to a meeting, on a national meeting, for instance, or an international meeting, or take her to an event that you're organizing. Literally sometimes take her by the hand and show her your experiences in Ladies Circle, because only then you will get to know and you can get more enthusiastic. So yeah, I think that is important in growth as well, to keep the members that are, or to keep the people that are interested and to help them to become an actual member of Ladies Circle. And after that, maybe bring in more members herself. So that is what I wanted to tell you about joining Ladies Circle. So now I hand over to Airi.
So thank you for those parts, Femke and Lisha. And as the 1 hour is very less, and I don't want to waste your Sunday valuable time. It seems like it's very lot of information, and as I said already in live comments, that it can be watched after, and we also putting this live in YouTube, and if you want to watch it after in your best time, you can watch it. So that is a lot of information, and maybe you can just hear that quiet environment. So we are going leaving when we are why and when. So we just show the results what we was asking for the poll, and as you see the results that as I said, also thank you for everybody for answering this survey, and we will continue to deal with this topic in the future as an information. And I think it's necessary to do those polls. That is an idea what is when we know what is the worrying the most for the members. And as the answering was anonymous, but we were showing the comments, and thank you for also sharing your thoughts for the comments. So I think it's probably some little bit, I don't know if we can put it on a CM3 or something maybe to talk about it, or just take the time to share your thoughts and hearing what is the worrying those parts. But the family reasons are the highest, and that is the reasonable that the women are mostly those who's taking care of the family and can't maybe going out so much and traveling. And thank you for answering these questions. And I'm truly grateful that it was very little time and you do the best. Thank you very much. So the next slide, it is also for a little bit like information. So Circle World is information for the LCI, because that is the main database that we will take account that how many members are, how the country is growing or not growing. How there are been 3 years under the 30 members. We are watching those countries who has not raised like the last 3 years. That the 30 members that is the limit, that you are be the social member, or you full member, or you have to be back to the social member country. That is basically the main reason that you have to be very okay to the Circle World. And also for your part, it is important that your profile is better to fill it with your information. It is not visible to any internet. Don't be afraid that hopefully we are not attacked for the cyber, but if your information is there, I can easily contact with you with the Circle World. Or if I have a potential member in your country, because everybody's traveling and changing the location, it is important that I can contact with you. Or I met the one girl in a maybe roundtable event. Can I pass your contact with your country? I don't know, secretary, IPP, or circular, what is area? That is, don't think box that so many girls are attending for the roundtable events, and they are meeting the potential circlers over there who's also traveling. That's why it is important that circle word is correctly filled. And the picture will be very good. So I don't have to search for the social media, who is the girl look like. And also, if you have a precious time in your life and you get married, please change your family name also. That is also important. That sometimes I'm struggling. Is it the same girl? Because sometimes the profile picture in a Facebook is so tiny and I can't remember. So thank you for this part, for taking the note for the circle world. So we're moving for the next slide, and I think it's the Lisha's part. Yes, Lisha, the is yours.
Hi, and just a quick reminder, as Femke has mentioned, it is for your, Airi has mentioned, it's for your information purposes only. Vacancies. In the year 2024 and 2025, the LCI Executive Board will be looking for a vice president and a secretary as well. And if you are available out there, please take keen interest to ask us about these roles. And not just me, we are honored today to have, even on this webinar, we have Femke, we have Airi herself, we have IPP Martina, and they are all available for you should you need any information. As long as you qualify with a criteria for you to be able to stand for either of the positions, please be encouraged to take up the role. Remember, when you take up this role, you don't have to be perfect, because sometimes we feel like, oh, okay, maybe I can't speak English too well, or maybe I am living too far in the world of the Eastern side or the European side. As long as you are thinking about it, do apply. That's what a lady once told me. So the minute you think about it, then apply. So as long as you're thinking about it, apply. Do, yes, take time to read more in the rules and guidelines about these roles. But if you're not clear, just understand myself. I am more than happy to tell you about the roles of vice presidency, as well as Femke will be more than happy, as well as Airi and Martina and any other board member. And if it's Vicky, according to the roles of secretary, she'll be more than happy to help you. Next slide. I hand over to Airi.
Yes, and that is also, I wanted to put in the agenda as the application for LCI AGM as 2026. We are waiting the application for this event, and what was important, that, as I told before, that the growth is covering so many areas. That is also the things that it is something that, yes, it is challenging, but maybe it is also to bring the LCI AGM in your country. You can be visible. So it is challenging, but it's worth it. So think about it, the application for LCI AGM 2026, and don't hesitate. This is a journey, this is an experience, this is a happiness, and I'm more than sure that it is worth it. So, and we are very much ahead of our time, but as I haven't seen question, but that is the time when you can put your questions in Facebook Live. Thank you, Iceland, for sharing your thoughts that social media, Instagram, is the most effective things, that you think that you have been doing this great job, that you've already have chartered the 3rd club this year. So bravo, and thank you, Iceland, for giving this growth for LCI. And I think that, yes, the Femke was telling that we are sharing the Instagram, and it is the more and more effective for the social media. And I think Instagram is the most of them. I'm seeing all the time when you're picking this search thing, when you can choose the names or thinking. I have been seeing many times for the ladies circle picture of the top of the screen, that when we are sharing, they are in the top of the screen and everybody is watching what they're doing. So I don't know if you have any questions, or if you don't, I think you can always contact with me, or you can write for the LCI or for Femke. I think more than okay to help, and don't hesitate to just write or share your thoughts. And as I told before, that the Facebook Live is going to be on YouTube, and you can watch it whenever you want. And also thinking about when you have a question, so some updates for us, what is good to maybe bring another topics for another meeting, or something we didn't talk about it today, that you have a very good idea. Don't hesitate. Yes, Femke?
There's two things that I want to add. Well, one thing is a question in the chat, so I'll get to that later. But another thing that I wanted to add on what you just said, Airi, I would suggest everybody who has been watching this or who is going to watch this, share this with the members in your club, because it is so important to put the topic of growth on the agenda of your own circle. So maybe discuss it. Maybe not everybody has to watch this, but put the topic on the agenda. So share what you've learned and make sure that your circle keeps on growing. So that is what I wanted to add. And there was one question from GBNI eClub. And the question is there any update on LCI eClub?
As far as I know, there what we was talking about the board meeting 3 in Switzerland. There's not very any updates for eClub, as Martina was saying. I don't know, Martina is via phone. Martina, if you want, you can comment. Yes.
I don't know if you can listen me.
Yes, we are listening to you.
At the moment, the situation of the club is stable, because it's divided through the different regions, and we don't have more participation. But we want to restart to recreate the groups for have the possibility to arrive in AGM with a group of ladies to open the LCI club. So that if any is interested, please contact me for make the information and make the new group.
So,
thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Martina. Femke, you don't have any questions after the eClub or comments?
No, only a lot of people who say that they thought this meeting was very inspirational and that the information provided was good. So thanks to everybody for those compliments.
Lisha has a comment.
Mine was just also addition back to the ways of growth. There's something I just remembered. As we are trying to grow countries and charter countries, remember the board itself cannot do it on its own. So it's just a reminder that if you have any contact of anyone who's interested in any country or any part of the world, please do email us, or myself personally, which is the vice president's email, and we will do our best to communicate. And then we also noted that sometimes maybe you feel that we do not respond as fast as we can, being that it's a voluntary work, maybe there might be a bit of a delay, but please do send us continuous nudges to ensure that we attend to all the queries that you have for us.
So I think it's, if there are no any comments, and we have been doing a great job, as has been said. That so I will closing this live, and so let's carry the spirit of today's meeting with us, and as we move forward, remaining open to new ideas and sharing with those I don't know, the new energy. I know one part of the world is starting autumn, but one part of starting in spring, and spring is all the time is bring the new ideas and new energy. And thank you for your time and this enthusiasm and be with us today. And I look forward to our future introductions and progress we will make together. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. And as I said, until next time, take care and stay inspired. So thank you, ladies, so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.